When I woke up this morning and saw that Nissan released the new specs and pricing for the 2019 Leaf, oh my God, it felt like a Christmas morning. I thought I was going to run into the living room and unwrap all of the, great stuff that I've been waiting for all year, like the active thermal management system and the extended range. And by the time I got there, I realized Santa Claus completely forgot about my house completely. I'll tell you why I'm disappointed, but there's some other good news. Volvo unveiled a really cool truck concept, really cool actually. We're gonna check up on NIO Stock, that's doing pretty impressive. Of course, Audi released yet another teaser ahead of its Monday launch of its all-electric e-tron. I'll be there. Probably will try to stream live for you, but definitely will bring a cool report on Tuesday for you to enjoy. Also, comment of the week. And I got a new sponsor. I don't know if you noticed the new logo in there in the corner. They're not replacing MNX. They're just an addition. So all of this is coming up next.
Take it over the world. Electrify the world. Electric.
Welcome to those of you who are watching me live on Patreon. Thank you so much for supporting the show. And for those of you who are watching me for the first time, welcome. My name is Alex. I can't even get my own name out. That's probably not good a sign because I'm so excited about everything that's going on in the world of electric cars. And if you want to stay up to date on all of that, just go ahead and click on the subscribe button and boom. Every day a video for you guys, and lots of news to be excited about. So let's get started with actually news that I wasn't that excited about, and Nissan Leaf. I've been praising the new Nissan Leaf pretty much ever since they introduced the prototype that I've driven last fall. And yes, I know this year was a little bit kind of a pre-show because their batteries doesn't have the active thermal management system, which they have promised that they will have next year. As a matter of fact, they're switching to LG Chem instead of their own battery. They were going to have an option of an extended range, not just 150 miles, but also 225 miles, which I thought was even more acceptable than 150. And a few other things. I already like the new look much better than the previous one, which I absolutely hated. And so now they finally announced it, and you know what? None of it is in there. I mean, they did say in their press release that the longer range option is coming soon. But I don't know what that means because they already said that was coming soon, and I thought soon is like now. So I don't know what's happening there. They also didn't mention the LG Chem battery though. Because they sold their own unit, I'm assuming they have no choice but to move forward with LG Chem. I just don't know why it's not in the press release because it is, I think, a much better battery. And I'm also I have to assume that they will have the active thermal management system, active cooling system, but that yet to be confirmed. I'm telling you that press release has been very vague as far as of those all those features. Now, the Nissan Leaf has been selling really good in Europe and Japan, but not so much here in the United States. Nissan tries to make it look like it's a supply issue. They just don't have enough. But a lot of people reporting that, including myself, I walked into a Nissan dealership a few months ago, and they had one for sale that was available immediately. Yes, there is still a line for some configurations, but I don't know what's going on. It's a good car. And by the way, so the good news is that they did keep the pricing the same. So you can buy it under 30,000, starting under 30,000, at least here in the United States. And of course, after all incentives, and if you qualify, like in California, if you qualify to all incentives, it can be pretty much 20,000, which is insane for this car. Let's see if they're going to release more information. So far, so not good. But again, I really hope they turn it around and there is an announcement about the active thermal management system and extended range. All right, before I move on to the next story, I'm excited because we got a new sponsor, and it's exciting sponsor not just for me but for you guys as well. As you can see, it's Climate Exchange. And they're not just promoting themselves here on this channel. They actually got one of the best raffles going on that I've seen in a while. As a matter of fact, I'm almost regretting this because I can't enter now that they're my sponsors. Otherwise I would. So check this out. They're raffling off not one, not two, three Teslas, and they're selling only 4,000 tickets. So essentially, if you think about it, your chances of winning it is under 1 in 1,400. That's insane, which is like amazing. I mean, so yeah. Now there's a link in the description of this video where you can go and purchase ticket. It is $250, but I think it's very much worth it for the chance, pretty high chance to win a Tesla. On top of that, you also be supporting their mission to move us towards a low carbon economy, which is great for all of us. So you will be contributing to a good cause, but at the same time having a pretty good chance of winning a Tesla. So thank you for sponsoring it. Go ahead and check it out in the description of this video, and hopefully good luck on winning the Tesla, because I don't even have a chance to do that. All right, let's move on to the next story, which is pretty cool. So Volvo Trucks had released, and I'm gonna show you guys this full screen. This is their concept of the autonomous truck, delivery truck. Ooh. Yeah, that did not go the way I planned at all. Can you tell I'm underslept? Just a bit. All right, so, all right, you saw it, right? Pretty cool, I think. As a matter of fact, so this is a concept, right? This is autonomous. You don't need a driver. As a matter of fact, they're planning it to sell it to businesses. They're just going to haul stuff between two locations, you know, with already mapped out routes. So I'm assuming, you know, level 4 autonomy would do. I love the way it looks. There's another picture. Let me show you. It kind of looks like, you know, when you go into like some kid's room, right, and you accidentally step on one of their toys. Well, it looks like you stepped on a semi-truck and smashed it a little bit. Here's another picture without the trailer. Here you go. And this one looks like a platypus. You know that animal? I should have pulled a picture. Google platypus. I think you know what I'm talking about. One of my most favorite animals, by the way. So yeah, but it's cute. It's pretty cool. It's really innovative. I know it's a concept, but yeah, we kind of never thought about like not even leaving the space for the driver, because we don't need one. I like it. I like it. It's definitely innovative. All right, let's move on and check on NIO Stock, which has been doing pretty good. So NIO is a Chinese-based company. They're pretty successful in China. As a matter of fact, I really like them because their electric car that they started making, they made almost 2,000 of ES8 in China. They have a battery swapping technology, something that I think Tesla really made a mistake by not keeping. And I guess they're called Chinese Tesla for some reason, but they're trying to make a crossover to the United States and start selling their cars here. And they went public this week at the New York Stock Exchange. Man, my brain is fried today. And you know, they didn't. The original day was around $6, and that's not what they were planning on. They were planning to raise 1.8 billion, and they raised only about 1 billion, which is still pretty good. But the stock actually keeps going up and up, a little down right now, but almost doubling. As a matter of fact, a comment of the day, somebody was thanking me for letting them know that they're going public, and I guess he bought the stock and already made some money, and that was 2 days ago. So now that guy's pretty happy. So yeah, good for them. Good for them. I mean, this is a really a good sign that Chinese makers, Chinese automakers can actually be successful here. Again, a long way to go, and obviously there's Byton and others that are trying to cross over, but definitely good start. Good for them. Now, also, let me remind you guys, did you know that this is a National Drive Electric Week? Now, I've been covering it almost every year. Not really sure if I'm going to do it this year because I just moved and I don't even know where it's going on. But it's been going on all week, and this is going to be a big weekend. And I really encourage you, find an event near you. They have events all over the place in the United States, and I think Canada. So sorry guys if you live in Europe, but that's kind of our thing right now, I guess. And in UK, I mean, it's kind of like a wine and art festival, except for, you know, there's no like beads and goodies being sold. It's mainly like electric cars and chargers and stuff like that. There are test drives. If you were curious about buying a car or test driving some other car, that's a good place to start. Definitely bring your friends. Bring your friends, let them know that, you know, this is really happening. I mean, but, you know, it is a festival. There will be a lot of people. I'm sure some kid will drop an ice cream on your shoes. So, but, you know, that's just how those things go. Wear cheap shoes, I guess is what I'm saying. But definitely check it out. Find one near you. Let's move on to the Audi e-tron. It is happening this week, and here's another teaser that they've released. We're seeing more. I don't like the font. I love the car. We're seeing more and more of this car, as you probably can see. I'll be at the unveiling on Monday. I'm really excited. I really think that they're ahead of pretty much everybody else because the car's got a decent range. The car's got about 250 mile of range. It is going to be priced up there about 80,000 or so. But obviously, Audi doesn't have a problem with the tax rebate being rolled out on them. So that you have that here in the United States and other countries. And of course, there are rebates, state rebates, province rebates, and all of that stuff. So take advantage. I'm probably going to try to be one of the first reservation holders in the North America because I'm considering this car. It's an Audi and they're really excited about it. Let me make a quick correction because yesterday's teaser pretty much featured their camera mirror, and I was just saying how, well, what's the point because they're not legal here, but actually they are legal in Europe, so I should probably correct myself. So that's pretty cool. I hope it's coming here as well. And on Saturday I will be releasing the video from this trip that I took to San Francisco on Monday, where we got to see the brand new iNext concept. And this is from their teaser video that I photoshopped to give you guys the best new. But all of the video, all of the pictures up close of this car is going to be revealed. I'll tell you my take on it. The front butt is not my favorite part, but there are plenty of interesting and very innovating things. I was actually quite surprised how innovative those things got. So stay tuned for that report. I'll release it at 3 p.m. Pacific time on Saturday because that's where the BMW will allow all of us to release the footage. So I want to be one of the first ones. It will be pretty cool. Before we go to the comment of the day, let me give a shout out to my new Patreon, Moises Caraccio. Thank you so much for becoming a Patreon. Of course, thank you for supporting the show. You're able to watch me live. And of course, we have the extra mile segment that I do just specifically for my Patreons to thank them for supporting the show. And Santon's Collection was already Patreon, already at the maximum tier level, but they decided to double it. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. I really, really do. So let me move on to the comment of the day. And as you remember, I reported the story about Volkswagen yesterday. They were kind of crying a little bit about how hard it is to make electric cars, though I think they're very much ahead of a lot of other people. And here's a comment that I didn't really expect, but I do hear once in a while. So this is from Doad. And sorry if I mispronounced your name, but it says, Alex, you take it too easy on Volkswagen. What they did with the Dieselgate was reprehensible. Their fine was too light and their executives should be in jail. They're dragging their feet with rolling out charging infrastructure in the United States. Electrify America. Okay, so I have been very tough on them. Obviously, Dieselgate, you're right, it is reprehensible. And I was also very tough of them on the story that came out this spring about animal testing. Absolutely. But at the same time, you're saying their fine was too light. It was like over $20 billion. And there's a lot of good stuff is coming out of that because a lot of it is being invested, you're right, in Electrify America here in the United States, but also in Canada. And that's actually a big deal. And they are actually on schedule. You know, it's not that easy to start rolling this out. They had to make contracts with the makers of the actual charging stations, you know, get the land, get the leases and stuff like that. Now they released their very first commercial a few weeks ago. So I think they're doing pretty well and something good is coming out of that. And the executives are in jail. Their former CEO, I believe, is in jail. And the last Audi CEO, because he took part of that, is also in jail. So no, things have been happening. But at the same time, listen, we can't just ban them from our lives. Like, they have been doing very good because the ID series for Volkswagen, they have, what, 3 cars now lined up that they're going to release. So they're doing very well. They invested over, what, $20 billion once again for their own electric car projects, which means they're very serious about it. Yes, they're saying it's a little bit harder than they thought, boo-hoo, but you know, they are doing it, and they're the brands under the same Volkswagen Group umbrella, like Audi and Porsche. I don't even need to tell you, they're doing very well. I mean, Audi is unveiling their car right now. Porsche Taycan is probably going to be one of the biggest hits since Tesla. So yeah, listen, man, I'm just trying to root for us moving forward. And if Volkswagen is part of it, then yeah, let me root for them. But I've been tough on them, just like I've been tough on Tesla and many other brands, but they don't do something right or do something wrong. Absolutely. But hey, I'm going to root for anything that is moving the technology forward. Just like I covered the story about Shell stations and Shell projects that are moving us towards electrification, and they're releasing some of the and buying some of the charging infrastructure companies. So yeah, I'm going to root for all of that. So yeah, and I invite you to do the same. Open up your mind, and we can move much faster to the future. So, all right, well, that's pretty much it for me. If you're watching me live on Patreon, of course, stay for the extra mile. We'll chat live, and I'll tell you a few interesting things about my upcoming trip and a few other things as usual. Ask questions if you want. Other than that, I will see you guys probably on Tuesday, because on Monday I will be releasing just a regular video because I'll be in San Francisco covering the Audi's event. All right, other than that, please remember to stay charged.